Tip number 1. Have you ever noticed that standard list markers in HTML look too plain? Just dots or numbers can be pretty dull and don't stand out in the design. To solve this problem, you can use the CSS rule counter style to create unique markers for your lists. Suppose you have a list that you want to make more interesting. Instead of standard dots, let's replace them with symbols, like stars. This code creates a new list style that uses a star as the marker. Now, your list will look much more appealing. Tip number 2. Imagine you have an image with a 16:9 aspect ratio. When you resize the browser window, that image can become distorted and fail to maintain its proportions, which looks quite unprofessional. To fix this, you can use styles for the container and define container type :size. First, create the HTML structure. Add styles for the container and the scene inside it. This code sets a container with the name Resize Box. When the aspect ratio of the container is greater than 16:9, the image in the scene will automatically scale, maintaining its proportions. Tip number 3. When you create a web page, static elements can appear lifeless and fail to capture users' attention. How can you make your interface more dynamic and engaging? One way to enhance user interfaces is by adding animations using CSS. The keyframes rule allows you to define keyframes for animations, creating smooth transitions. Let's create an element that changes color smoothly. In this example, we define an animation color change that transitions the background color from red to yellow and then to green over 3 seconds. We also set the infinite property so the animation repeats endlessly. Tip number 4. When working with modern CS properties, there's always a risk that some users may not see your styles if their browser doesn't support those properties. How can you ensure your code works for all users? You can use the supports rule to check whether the browser supports certain CSS properties and apply alternative styles if they don't. This helps create more compatible and adaptive interfaces. For example, let's check if the browser supports the display :grid property and apply a different style if it doesn't. In this example, if the browser supports display grid, we create a grid container. If not, we use flexbox to arrange elements in columns. Now add the HTML code for the container.